Welcome to the mind of Lancescurv, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.
In a world inundated with preconceived notions, ideologies, societal expectations, discovering our true selves can seem like an arduous journey. From the moment we enter this world, we are bombarded with influences that shape our beliefs, our values, and perceptions. However, amidst the noise of external influences lies the essence of our authentic selves, waiting to be uncovered. This journey of self-discovery requires us to unlearn the ideologies that have been ingrained in us and reclaim our autonomy. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lancescurv of Lancescurv.com. If you don't know about the website, my blog, Lancescurv.com, you need to go there. That's where all of our work is. Shameless plug. I hope everybody is in good health and in a good mentality right now. We do have a lot of stresses in this world that come at us, but a lot of it is how we perceive it. And I remember many years ago, Minister Louis Farrakhan was speaking about Elijah Muhammad. But he said that with the pressure that you feel from the outside, if you have just as much pressure pushing out from the inside, your inner strength, you won't feel a thing. I can tell you from experience that I have endured many storms. The storms I've endured and gone through and not only survived, but came out victorious may have been a little different than the storms that you've been through. We all have our unique storms. The way the rocks and stones that were thrown at us will hit us in different places in different ways and hurt us in different ways, to speak in an abstract manner. But earlier today, I heard an older woman, mature woman, very beautiful woman, offer words, nuggets of truth. And while it may not tie into this topic all the way, it put me in a mood that followed me for the rest of the day. And I just have to say, because of hearing that, I'm always thankful of what I've achieved with the help of the Creator. And I'm always thankful for what I have and where I am. And whatever I have, I don't gloat about it. I don't brag about it, because I know it was only made possible by something bigger than me that is inside of me that I'm connected to. If anybody has a problem with that, please go bark up another tree, because we didn't make ourselves. We didn't create ourselves. And there's nothing we can do when our time is up on this level, but there are things that we can do to have our more authentic self emerge. We're going to get into that. I want you to listen to these words. It's just maybe 60 seconds or so. Here it is.
Have you ever taken the time to sit down and just count your blessings and to see how fortunate you really are? You're in your right mind. You have strength. You can think. You're not hungry for food. You're living in a nice place. Be thankful for what you have and just wanting more and more. Think about others that have much less than you have. Don't try to get and get and get. Take the time, count your blessing, thank God, and be thankful for the present. This present time of where you are. You'll never get this time back again. Do it before it's too late.
Wow. What soothing and empowering words those are. We need that energy more so in our world the way it is today. Seriously. I don't know how old, or may I not say old your chronological age is, but if it is of a higher number, you can go back further. And if you can go back further, you can remember we had more individuals, male and female, who spoke this way, who understood life. And lots of times of us feeling invincible because of our youth, because as the juices of youth flow through our veins, it can be quite an intoxicant to make us not want to listen to such wisdom. But after living life a little bit, in my few years, I can say that she is spot on. And that's my goal in actuality. You see, I'm very happy with what I have. I'm not trying to get. I don't want more. I just want to sustain myself and live a comfortable life. And some of us never learn that. Because could you imagine how many of us burn for more? That whatever we have is not enough? That we keep pushing ourselves and we don't take that Sunday walk through the community. We just go to work and come home and go to sleep and get up and repeat the process. And then eventually we're out of here. I don't know if you ever saw this little short video. I know it's on Instagram and I know it's on TikTok, and I'm going to find that link because I actually saved it, and I'll probably put it down in the comment section or maybe the community section of this channel. And I want you to see it. There's no words to it, but they illustrated through these figures, I guess they were computer generated, how most of us are living in the rat race, chasing status, chasing money, chasing approval. And it hit hard. I'm not going to say I'm in that place. I'm not going to say I was never in a place similar to that. Because the things that I pushed hard in were mainly things that I wanted to do, not necessarily pushing hard and killing myself to make all the money in the world, which you can't do. There were times I did now. I'm not going to lie. There are times when I worked in the jail and prisons, and I did a lot of overtime, but only to support my family. And when I did the overtime, I was working and felt good that my children had the sustenance and had whatever they needed. So it was from that spirit, but it wasn't from the spirit of me wanting to have a bigger house than someone, or more vehicles than someone, or more jewelry to impress a person when I went out in the street. It was never that way for me. So I do appreciate what I have. And to segue into this particular topic, me now, certain things I don't even want. You know, earlier today, again, I went into my backyard where it's getting more and more private because of what we're doing back there. And many of those of you who know me know exactly what I'm doing. But I'm not going to always put my business out there like that, only to my inner circle. But I was back there and I was standing again. And the more and more I'm connected to nature, is the more I have an opportunity to go to this place. It's not a self-induced, on purpose type of meditation, but it's something that comes to me. And when I say overtake, it doesn't overwhelm me like some type of what many would say is a supernatural experience, but it was an experience that is natural. And I wouldn't say supernatural. I'll say it was quite normal. But what I will say is that most people do not have these experiences that are disconnected from nature. So they can't feel this thing because they're so distracted by so many other people, so many other energies, so many other vibrations, so many other frequencies they have to fend off. It's bad enough that we've come into this world, some may say a clean slate. Some may say a clean slate ready to absorb everything and download everything in a rapid manner, more so than what parents and elders realize. And this is where we get so corrupted. It's like taking a bath in dirty bath water. We come here clean. And some may say, oh, that child has been here before. And I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that, because things that we go through sometimes can be so severe or so glorifying and all in between that that imprint can stay with us as we return. Maybe there's a lesson we have to learn and we have to take it over again. That's how school works, right? So while standing again in the backyard, in the peace and quiet and tranquility, and again, this is not just a spiritual experience, but it was very much a spiritual experience. But it was a physical experience. It was a cerebral, mental experience. And when I get to this place of being so quiet, let me just move myself up a little closer to this desk. Let me put this microphone in its stand, because we have a few things we have to cover today. First of all, I'm not going to say I was leaving my body, but I was raised on a consciousness level to not another physical place, because I didn't leave my backyard, but it was an awareness, I'll say. And my face began to really relax. I had my face not tense. I wasn't angry at anything, but I felt myself, or I knew and I realized that I was holding myself. I wasn't tense like something was going to happen before, but I let go and I let my shoulders slump. I let my face relax. And I made a conscious decision. I said, you know what? I've felt this before and I let it happen. But I'm in a place now that if I have to stand here for 3 or 4 hours, I'm going to do it. Time doesn't matter because it's artificial anyway. So my eyes got wider. And it was like something was entering my eyes. I didn't see anything. I'm not going to say there was some spook or something that I saw, but something was opening up in my head. Was it the gift of discernment? The third eye? The Holy Spirit? We call it different things, but it's the same thing. The same food that we eat, the same fruits that we consume and vegetables have different names in the different countries that we visit. So I don't care what you call it. I don't care what you call it at all. But the bottom line is, I was going there and I let go. I wasn't thinking anything consciously. I just floated within myself. I'm not going to say I was astral projecting or anything. No, I'm not claiming any of that. I just totally relaxed and let this free feeling overtake me. And I can remember my eyes just opening up more. And I moved a little bit as I stood there. I looked around a little bit, but I wasn't looking at what was in front of me as far as the mango trees and the papaya trees and the pineapple. I wasn't looking at those things. I saw them, but something else came into me to reassure me, to let me know that I was on the right path. And that any work that I do on myself, as far as the cleansing of the prior residues that we're here on this earth, that we came into this place as a clean slate, that it's not going to follow me forever. So for me right now, after that experience, and it was 1 hour and 30 minutes approximately. It could have been 1 hour and 25 minutes. It could have been 1 hour and 39 minutes. I didn't look at my watch and say, okay, let's go. But I had an idea at the time. And I went over and leaned against the tree that was 3 feet away from me. So I didn't just stand there frozen. I was totally relaxed, and I felt the energy from the tree also. I'm an empath. Yes, I am. But there's been so many things that this world has thrown my way. I lost touch with myself a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. And it doesn't take much in this world because we're bombarded with so many things coming at us. And so I learned a lot today. I know I'm on the right path, and I'm trying to detach myself more and more from this engineered world that we're in, this man-made engineered world that doesn't give us any nutrition at all to our soul. It only takes from us, snatches our life force, and puts us on the wrong path where we waste our mission here. I'll say we're wasting the time here. There is a chronological measured time that's man-made, that's not real on any other level. But on this level, we can say 80 years, 50 years, 110 years, whatever amount of time that you're here, right? There's something that you have to do. Some people have a huge mission that takes many decades, but yet they piddle it away by their indulgences, and they leave this earth at 20 years old, but they were supposed to be here 85 years. There's some people who live the whole time that they're here. I mean, they're alive, not living, but alive. And their mission might be huge also, taking up much of their life, but they don't start it until late. And they never get it done. Some people have short missions that they get it done and they leave out of here early. Some people have short missions and they live a long life and they still get it done. The main thing, we don't have to concern ourselves with the time here. But as far as I'm concerned, it's about not wasting the time, not letting a day go by where you don't move forward in your mission. But how are you going to know how to move forward when you don't know your mission? See, that's the catch. So we have to look within, because the world as it is not going to tell us. But for us to know our mission, we have to learn who we are. And this is where it gets a bit sticky, because if we try to learn who we are, we got to clear the cobwebs of what we walked into when we came into this life. Like the title says, learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. They? Who is they? It's the systems in place, ready to trap you, ready to get you caught up like a victim caught in a spider's web. And it doesn't come to destroy you right away. If that spider in the web that you're caught in had a prior victim and consumed it, and the spider was full and wasn't hungry, you're going to stay trapped in that web until they want to eat, as well as the other things that eventually get trapped in that web. Isn't it something that they call it the World Wide Web? Are you trapped in that web? And if you are, or maybe you don't know it, but if you are, what's waiting to come and consume you? Maybe it's not waiting to come and consume you. Maybe it came already to you and started to feast on you in the World Wide Web, like that insect stuck in the web. And when it comes to you, it begins to consume you, who you really are. And maybe you didn't learn who you are yet, but you'll never live right until you do. And if you get caught up in the web of wanting the status, wanting more, like our elder just told us, that's why I saw the connection in this topic. And afterward, after I came out of that tsunami, the sweet tsunami of that raised consciousness that I was in, I'm going back there tomorrow and see if it happens again. And I know it will. Because in actuality, I'll be very honest with you. I took a nap and I said to myself, I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually do this segment. I was in another state of mind. I thought I was going to go to sleep and that was it. And that's okay because I'm free flowing that way now. I'm not doing something unless I feel it. I'm not trying to keep up with a time clock. I'm going to do things every day. But some days there'll be times when I have to prioritize what comes to me in my downloads. So I'm not going to force it. I'm going to flow with it. It's a difference between forcing something and flowing with it. It's like the song years ago, I think it was in the early 70s. I forgot who made it, but the words were something like this. If it don't fit, don't force it, just relax and let it flow. And that's what I thought about today. And so that's how I'm living my life. I'm going to flow and wait for the divine downloads to come to me and act accordingly. So I took the nap and I'm here. And it's a joy to be here because my mind is totally clear for what I have to say. And I did jot down several points. I'm going to start reading them off. I'm going to make an explanation for each one of them. Maybe I won't read all of them because it's quite a list here. But I have 15 points illustrating how various factions in our world have influenced and obscured our true identities. Again, the title is Learn Who You Are by Unlearning Who They Taught You to Be. The first one I have is family dynamics. Our upbringing within familial structures often dictates our beliefs and behaviors, shaping our identity from an early age. Listen, let's just be raw here. Nothing lewd. Let's just be real. If you were raised up in a household that claimed to be Jehovah's Witnesses, what do you think you're going to be? If you were raised in a household where the Ku Klux Klan mentality ruled, and you're sitting around at the dinner table hearing this rhetoric, well, that's going to form you into what you're going to be later on until you find other things to realize that might not be the proper way to go. If you were raised in a household where budgeting and money wasn't respected, I'm not saying worship, maybe there was an abundance of it, but nobody sat down to teach you how to budget. It just kept coming in. Maybe the family had a business that was doing very well. Well, when you get older, you think it's always going to be that way until you realize that you never learned the things that were needed to keep you financially afloat. And now you're resentful, sitting on the curb, not knowing where your next meal is going to come from or where you're going to lay your head at night. Your family and your beginnings have a lot to do with who you are now. Many of you who follow certain religions, someone will ask you, what got you into this? And you'll say, well, my family. This is what my family's a Pentecostal. My family's Baptist. My family is African, Methodist, Episcopalian, or whatever it may be, Catholic, Buddhist, Wiccan, African spirituality, which oftentimes masquerades as a front for the occult. In my time here in the motherland, I'll say, I see that. And many people are playing with things that are going to come back to haunt them. I did a video on that. And I'll try to find that link and put it down in the comment section. But it's true. Dysfunctional families, which all of us have a measure of dysfunction, it will affect how we think. And when we're young, it really gets embedded in us because we don't have the experience in life. So that's our whole world. And it saturates down to the deepest recesses of our being until we realize different, until we go away to school, until we see other friends of ours, how they live, and it's something different. And sometimes in a very incestuous way. I don't mean the sexual incest, but just being around the circle of people who are perpetually stagnant and don't want to grow and don't want to even see anything out of their circle because they think that it's demonic. They think that it's wrong. They want to stay in their comfort zone. And they're actually ruining themselves. Even if you don't travel the world, even if you don't go to the library and read every book, trust me, we need to expand. We need to expand and then look within. And we need to continue to clean off the residue that was handed to us as an inheritance because of the situation that we were born into. Number 2, peer pressure. The desire to fit in and gain acceptance among peers can lead us to conform to societal norms that may not align with our true selves. It's true. The peer pressure, we got to fit in because we don't have enough force from within to say, this is who I am. We don't know who we are. So we think what's outside, the groupings of people who may be similar to us, will attract us because we're very insecure as to who we are. In different situations, drugs were always offered to me. Do you think I would use those things? I know who I am. All types of ways of making money through people that I went to school with at a younger age who we knew each other and we trusted each other, and they wanted to put me down to make a lot of money that wasn't legal. Did I do it? No. I'm not knocking you if you did. Maybe there's a lesson in that you have to learn, but not me. I was very determined, and I have to say it again. I thank my parents so much. Now my voice is getting a little crackly, so if you hear it that way, I was doing a lot of talking today, and I was up from like 4 o'clock in the morning. But the thing is, you have to know who you are. But when you're taught who you are, and they tell you who you are, the schools, social media, Hollywood, the music industry, neighbors, friends, parents, yourself, try and find yourself. Why are we trying to find ourselves in so many things external? The only way you find yourself is to go within yourself, because you're not down the block. You're not around the corner. You're here. Wherever you are right now listening to this, you're within yourself. But our physical eyes always pull us away. Our physical ears always pull us away because we're hearing so much chatter. We're hearing so much rhetoric spoken with confidence that in our insecure state of not knowing ourselves, we say, oh man, they must be right. They must know what they're talking about. I have to roll with them. Peer pressure. No, I got to check with me first. I got to talk with myself and my creators inside of me before I make a move or make a decision. Because I don't have the residue on me. I have washed it off of me. Every now and then you bump into somebody's energy that leaves a little residue on you. You have to be aware and wash it off as fast as you can. It's to the point right now, if I don't know your energy, I'll feel your vibration and I'll know who you are. And if I don't know your energy, I'm not even going to look to get eye contact with you. I don't even want to talk with you. I don't even want to see you. And I'm not going to let you see me. I don't want you throwing that unseen energy my way. How are you going to constantly hate on something that you can't see? You have entities out here who want confrontation, who see that you are ascending, that you are content within yourself, that you are growing. And they understand that they are not, no matter how much they try to lie to the world with their fancy words, They have a lot of homework to do inside and they refuse to do it. So they figure if I can convince the world how wonderful I am, that'll get the job done. No, it won't. Because what you sweep under the rug is going to be there waiting for you. You understand? It's not going away because that's for you to do. Nobody else outside of you is going to take care of the work that you have to do. Like I always say, and it seems like I'm saying this on every single video and audio that I do. The answer is not external. You are the president of your life. You are president for life over your life. There is no election to decide who's going to run your life. You give it up willingly. And you wonder why oftentimes your life is in a mess. And when I say you give it up, it's not just to a politician because they don't care about you. But sometimes we get in relationships and we give up our power to somebody else who really doesn't intend to be with you, and they have an agenda for you. Look at these people on the banner who are wearing the masks. So what you see in real life really for most is a mask. I mean, you don't see a mask like this unless you go to a masquerade party or a Halloween party. But what you see in their face as far as the frequency and the vibration that they're giving to you in a manufactured way is a mask. Until you understand what their energy is, do you understand what their intentions with your life force is? Because we're like maggots. I'm not claiming that for me. I said we just to be polite. We're like maggots climbing over each other. We're like scavengers looking to pick what we can pick from the next person. And when you stay to yourself and you allow yourself time to experience what I experienced earlier, and I'm going to experience it tomorrow because I'm not dealing with anybody tomorrow. I'm going to walk with that. And really and truly, I want to stay that way ultimately 24/7. So the glorious experience. I'm higher now than I was yesterday. I want more of that. I don't want to get caught up in the traffic jam of other people's idiosyncrasies. I don't want to breathe the fumes from their toxic vehicles. No, that's a traffic jam I don't want to go to. You ever have a day off from work? Whatever time you work, say for example, at one point you may have to go through a rush hour. Traffic jams. But this day, you're not on that schedule and you're going the opposite way when there's the rush hour. And you look to yourself, you say, man, I'm so glad that I'm not caught in traffic on that side. I'm so happy that I'm going the opposite way and I'm going home. Well, whether you know it or not, I have removed myself from America, the United States of America. And I didn't have to physically remove myself, but I wanted to. It's been my long desire to get out of that place because I'm very sensitive to all of the tensions, and not just the tensions around and the stress around, which pretty much I know how to dodge. But the individuals who, again, have their secret motivations and hidden intentions on your life as they come to you smiling, as they come to you with their good words of support that never happens, of a camaraderie that's manufactured. They want what they want, and as soon as they get it, they're gone. But just like Linda Clifford, the singer back in the 70s, she says, I ain't giving nothing up to nobody. Do you remember that song? You better keep what you got while you're hot and don't give nothing up to nobody. Because no matter what they say, I'm going to tell them right away, I ain't giving nothing up to nobody somehow or whatever. Better beware, beware, sister, sister. Now, you know what they were talking about not giving something up. I'm not referring to it in that same way, but the concept is true. There was a body part that she was talking about not giving up, and the intimacy. I understand that. Because on that level, men could be vipers and scavengers, hedonistically driven, pleasure seeking. I understand that. But this, what I'm talking about, is on a whole different level. We have to protect what it is that we have as a gift that is so precious, because you see, you will have gifts that are given to you from birth. Before birth, it was destiny. And you'll have others who are the narcissists, who are the monitoring spirits, who are the human bots, whose purpose is to upset you, throw you off course, take your destiny for themselves. Don't you know you have to be aware that there are people who see the light inside of you and despise you for it because they don't have it? You're not trying to manufacture the light that's inside of you. It's there already. You are loving. You are at peace. You are giving. And they will take from you and resent you at the same time for giving to them, because they can't have the lightness of your spirit. They're bogged down with all of the negative things in the world, and they resent you for being free. It's like the co-workers that some may have had. It's time for you to retire. Not retire because you're old, but it's time. You did your time, and now you're going to get a check for the rest of your life. Do you think the person that doesn't get that same check, who has 20 more years to go or 15 more years to go, they're mature, they know how the system goes, but there will be some who resent you for the positioning that you have in life. If you have paid your bills on time, if you weren't foolish enough to create debts that just get larger and larger and larger with each passing year, walking around paranoid, scared the debt collectors are going to come for you. You're going to hear that knock on your door, because you know we have all kind of debts out here. Walking around and we give ourselves away. We're hiding, pulling a hat way down over our face, looking out the window before we go out. They coming for me. We in the computer age. They're going to get me. They're going to get you eventually, yes. But if you're free of that, see, it's not just the financial debt. We know karma. All of us knows karma, even if we act like we don't know it. Karma to me is balance. This universe is perfectly balanced. And if we throw the balance off by getting greedy and trying to take something that's not ours, or borrowing money and never paying it back, or talking bad about somebody and realizing that you were wrong, you only went on what somebody else said, you know karma's coming for you, unless you do what you have to do to clear that debt up. Number 3, cultural conditioning. Cultural expectations and traditions play a significant role in shaping our identities, sometimes overshadowing our individuality. Yeah, because we don't see ourselves as an individual oftentimes when we get caught up in the culture. Culture is a good thing. It gives us a global identity. I don't mean global, the whole world, but in the world, we have an identity that's unique to ourselves, depending on your culture, your nationality. It's a good thing, but it can be used against us. Let's say you move to a foreign country where nobody speaks the language that you speak. You're there for work or whatever reason. We're making this up. You're just in a foreign country. You're away from the music that you're used to listening to. You're away from the food that you're used to eating. And you walk down the street and there's a car driving and it stops at the red light. Now you're walking and you hear a song back from your country, back from your culture. and you want to know who this is, you look down in the car and they're looking at you, and you both realize that you're from the same place, and you say the name of the country. Are you from there? Yes, I am. Well, do you know a restaurant where there's food that we eat? Yes, I do. I can tell you. Let me park the car and get out and talk to you. And you befriend this person. That's a good thing. But you can't let it become your whole world where you can't respect and explore other cultures, other mindsets, other mentalities to know how to navigate on a higher level. Those of us who were born and raised in the bigger cities, we have a distinct advantage over many who were born in smaller cities that didn't have a diverse population. In New York City, there is a section of Queens, New York, that I was raised in, Queens. But the part I was raised in was a little bit down from this part called Astoria, Queens. And I'm only saying this to show, for me, with New York, how powerful just being born there was for me. But I will say, any big American city, it could be Philadelphia, if you were born there from the root, Chicago, Detroit, Miami, Dallas, Los Angeles, the list is vast. Well, seemingly vast. It's not vast. It doesn't go on forever. But Astoria was deemed for several years straight the most culturally diverse place on the whole planet. I was always in Astoria. I was always in different parts of the city. I just didn't work and go home. I explored. I know different cultures more than what I even can tally and tell you. Because every culture, every nationality, every race is there. Different age groups, it's vast. It's a learning experience just for being there. And it's helped me to navigate with my innate skills and the skills that my father and mother taught me. So I've been equipped. And if I didn't have those skills, I wouldn't probably have made it as well as I did through the adversities that I've had to face. So I'm thankful for that. So pretty much, I've had a little bit of a taste from everything in the buffet of life. Everything. Some of the things I don't want to be bothered with again. You go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant like a Golden Corral in America. You're not going to eat every dish because there's some food that you're like, oh, I'm not eating that. That's nasty. And there's some that you can just envision yourself guzzling down for the rest of the evening. And you go back for more and more and more, right? But in this life, we do have to deal with things that are not pleasant. And the things that are not pleasant are the things that were put on us. Learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. Number 4, media influence. Mass media bombards us with messages that mold our perceptions of beauty, success, and happiness, often distorting our sense of self-worth. Isn't that something? So many of us are walking around on the planet Earth feeling incomplete for asinine reasons. Until I get that Rolls Royce, until I get that Bentley, I won't feel successful. Well, chances are you're probably not going to feel successful in this life. Yes, you can achieve it. You can get it. And when you get it, then what? Do you know who you are? Have you unlearned who they taught you to be? Because if you did, you might not want that vehicle. For me, like I say it, I bought 2 new pairs of Crocs the other day. I was at the Medina Market. I got shoes. I just love the freedom with my toes and how they can breathe. Wow. Wearing my shorts, wearing my t-shirts. I'm not all restricted. I just let everything hang where it should be hanging. And you know what I'm talking about. We're not going to be lewd. I'm free. When the wind blows, everything feels it. I'm not restricted and restrained. corralled in. Tomorrow, I'm going to take a nice long walk. Tomorrow, the Creator willing, I'm going to take a van and go as far as I can from early and find myself somewhere. And I'm going to meet somebody in a very deep conversation. I'm not talking about meeting anybody and picking them up for carnal reasons, but I've already been instructed, I won't say warned, that I must go out tomorrow and not know exactly where I'm going to go, but take the van to the last stop and end up in an area where there's a lot of commerce. Find yourself sitting down in a place to eat for food that you eat, and it's going to happen. This is the kind of thing that when you know who you are and you remove the residue of what you think should be, you can submit freely to the downloads given to you, that you'll get your blessings that way. See, when we're stubborn and we do what we want to do when we want to do it, it never ends up all right. Come on, man. You see a shapely, drop-dead gorgeous woman. Oh, man, I'd love to meet her. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. But don't bring the Creator's name in it when you're feeling good behind closed doors, 2 o'clock in the morning, from what you all are doing to each other, and say, oh, the Creator ordained this. No, you ordained it because you like the way it looked. You're probably thinking from a lower vibration, and now you want to put an air of holiness over your lower desires because you want that all the time. And that may not be the person for you. Chances are, with that kind of mind, it isn't. And it's just a matter of time before you realize they don't know who you are. You don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. And you don't know who you are. A great recipe for disaster. How are you going to get with somebody and you haven't unlearned who they taught you to be? Right? You got work to do. But if you can bring yourself to a place of purity, that don't mean we're perfect. You know, somebody give me the middle finger, I might give it back to them. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but purity where all of this junk put on you. Like we just said, the media influence, our perceptions of beauty, success, and happiness. Perceptions of beauty. Men look at women and they deem one to be beautiful and one not to be. Or they say they're a 10 and that one's a 6. I'll take the 10. I don't want the 6. But the 6 may have a hidden 4. And that 10 that you chose may have a negative 8 and really be a 2. How many brothers have we seen walking down the street, miserable, with a gorgeous woman by their side, and they look pissed off, like, how the heck did I end up in this situation? So we let the media influence us. We see the magazine covers, we see the billboards, we see what's on social media. Don't go on Instagram. You can be all messed up. And that influences us. We don't feel successful until we meet the so-called standards of the world. Oh, you don't have a car? You're not driving? Oh, I don't want to date him. He doesn't have a car. But he may have a long-term plan that doesn't involve a car now, but he'll be living well like a king on very little money and time. And it's too late because he's got somebody else. And you had a shot, but you didn't think long-term. You thought about the instant gratification. Happiness. Who's to tell you what's going to make you happy? Especially in the media. They're putting these things in your head and you don't feel right. How are you going to feel right with all of these things being put on you? And then you got people around you trying to live down to these standards, not up to it, but down. You don't know who you are. You got to learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. I don't want what you have. Sometimes I don't even know what it is that I want. Give me time to know who I am, to know what I want. Just because I walk into a restaurant with 10 friends or 10 close people, could be a business meeting and we're in the restaurant and they all order the same thing. You think I'm going to order what they order? I'm going to look at the whole menu and decide what I want because I'm an individual and I'm a free thinker. Nobody taught me how to talk this way. I look at what's there logically and reason and think and look at every angle of it, compare it to my life experiences, compare it to what I've been taught righteously, and I come to a conclusion. I'm not just going to jump the gun because everybody else is saying it this way or that way. And I don't care who disagrees. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to stimulate. And if you can't understand what my purpose is in the world, then you'll never get me. But I'm not going to run you down to try to prove who I am. That would be foolish and a waste of time. You see? Look at Muhammad Ali. Back in the 60s, a lot of people hated him because of how he stood up and the things that he said that were unpopular at the time. They wanted him locked up, taking away his boxing license. And after he came back and you saw how right he was in his conviction to not go across the world and kill a people who did nothing to him. But here in America, so much was done. And he brought it out. You couldn't have made a more perfect individual for the time that he came up in. All the way up until the time, what was it, 1994 in Atlanta, I believe, where he carried the Olympic torch and lit the torch, despite the fact that he had Parkinson's syndrome. He was loved by many. Look at Mike Tyson. They didn't understand him back then. He's changed, yes, he's evolved, but you can see why he was the way he was, and you can see the miracle of how he has manifested himself to be now. But he always knew who he was. The world didn't. That's another part of this equation. So the hell with you if you don't know who I am. I know who I am. And I've unlearned who they taught me to be. I will not submit and be scared because you'll be censored. You'll lose your job. You'll lose this. You didn't give me life, so you can't take it. Oh, yeah, you can take a weapon and take it, but you can't snuff my energy because it's always going to come back. You know how many Malcolm X's are in the world right now? You know how many Muhammad Ali's are in the world right now? You can snuff an individual, but you can't snuff a revolutionary thought. And once that thought catches on, it's a wrap. Educational systems, formal education systems may prioritize conformity over critical thinking, hindering our ability to question and explore our own beliefs. Prioritize conformity, a cookie cutter mentality, a worker mentality, a wage slave mentality, not a free thinker to conquer the world, not a free thinker to conquer yourself. Let them pour all of the residue of the world on you, and you must live within the confines of that. How sick. And never. I was made to be free. Wasn't made to conform. I will agree if it's something I've decided to agree on, but I'm not just going to see you and automatically conform. None of us should. Oh, well, you know, I won't keep my job. I don't want to lose my car. And if I lose a job, I won't be able to keep the house and the car. And my woman going to leave me because I ain't got no money. Then she ain't with you for real anyway. Let her go. Let her go find somebody she can suck from. Because that's pretty much what you want her for anyway. Let's just be real. And she wants you for the money. So it's a dysfunctioning sucking going on. A dysfunctional, twisted, toxic 69. Baby, what do you mean by 69? What? Oh, no, I know he didn't mean that. Yes, I do. Yes, I did. I didn't say it in a lewd way now, did I? It's a number. I can say 69. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, baby. Let the ignorance come out. Religious institutions. Oh no. Organized religion can impose rigid doctrines that dictate our moral compass and sense of purpose, limiting our spiritual exploration. Religion and spirituality, I will say, are two different things. Religion and spirituality are two different things. You go to a church, you go to a mosque, you go to a synagogue. I know about all of them, but I more so know about the church. They love bomb you when you get in there. It's the very time you tell all your business because you thought you found this glorious place where everybody loves you. But they're the imps that work for the pimp, the pastor, to find out about you, how much you make, where you live, who you with. Not every church, but many places that do the business of church, the business of Jesus that T.D. Jakes said. He said that. Church is the business of Jesus. Business, money, commerce, jets, mansions. You so foolish and you still gonna believe there's something holy in them situations. But religion is all about control. I don't care what you say. You got more whores in the church than you do on the street corner on a Friday and Saturday night. How does dress look on me? Is my butt big? Is it too tight? Yeah, it's a little too tight. You're going to wear it anyway. You got a white dress on or white tight slacks, which you're going to pretty much wear the dress in church. But why you got to have fire engine red panties that they can see? And you take your time after everybody gets up to pay their tithes. And you take your time and you shift that backside looking like a dryer or a washer on a high cycle, vibrating. It's jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. It's jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. You know what you're there for. Not everybody, but too many. Brothers, a lot of them are not there for spirituality because it's religion, form and fashion. A Sunday morning or a Saturday morning for the Seventh-day Adventists, but a Sunday morning for the most part, social club. Binge purge. You binged on a Saturday night, now you want to purge on a Sunday morning. What are you purging? That freakishness that you did on Saturday night that was so good. You almost didn't make it to church on Sunday, and you got your head perpetually bowed in prayer because you're fast asleep. Somebody taps you on your shoulder when you start snoring. Why when these people snore, they come out of it and they wake up and they start like, what is that? It's reality, baby. Not in every case. I've seen people that I've known personally fall out in the spirit on command. Oh, and people say, oh, that's a holy woman. They did that to me, trying to impress me. You know something? Religious institutions. It's more like mental institutions where spiritual stagnation happens. But because we were raised up by our family and it was already going on and it's deep in our subconscious mind and that's all we know nothing about spirituality. And then you have the people who feel on the spirituality side that they can point and, oh, this person is not spiritual. But how the hell are you going to tell me that when you just started having your period 10 years ago? You never even lived life looking for an easy way out, like electricity, taking the shortest course possible. But you're going to talk about, some people have never been through the trials and tribulations, the muck and the mire of the things that can happen to you in this life. But they want to sit up and tell and point their finger on who is not spiritual. We're all spiritual. Are we utilizing our sense and place of spirituality? No, we're not all utilizing it. No, we're not. We're not exercising it. And we think that every time we punch the card, Symbolically, there's no card to punch in church, but some people, I ain't never missed a Sunday in 35 years. I know the Lord is pleased with me. No, that pastor's pleased with you because you gave up them tithes and that building fund money and that love offering and sometimes a little booty to make yourself feel good in there. That's what it is. I ain't gonna lie. It gets no realer than that. Trust me. Political ideologies, just as bad. Partisan politics often polarize societies, influencing our beliefs and affiliations without critical examination. You black folks that automatically vote Democrat. I'm not into any of that stuff. But I'm a vote for whoever can vibrate in what I want. And usually it's not. It's just empty promises. So I don't even do that no more. I'm not even in America no more. No. I don't care about that. I didn't care about it when I was there. Because look at your neighborhoods. The same crap. The crack house might have moved from one place to the other. Maybe it's a different race of people who own the liquor stores. No commerce, hopelessness, crime, crack, drugs, prostitution, roach-infested homes and apartments that you don't even own, but you're paying top dollar for. You're scared for your life when you go outside. You lay in the bed at night, all you hear is gunshots. You wake up to another day and you're glad the sun is shining, but you can still get snuffed out where you live. But the politician who promises everything to you, he's living in the affluent part of town. He don't give a damn about you. He'll kiss your little black babies and come to the churches and lock hands with the pastor. We shall overcome on a Sunday morning. And on a Saturday night, he was with some of them same sisters at his place, singing a song similar. I will make her come. I will make her come someday. He ain't thinking about no holiness. He checking up the sisters in the church and lying to you. Oh, I'm sorry for being so lewd, but I gotta tell it. Like Millie Jackson said in that song back in the 70s, I just had to say it. Social media, the curated personas presented on social media platforms can distort reality and lead to comparisons that erode our self-esteem. We're putting up perfect images of ourselves. We're putting up AI pictures of ourselves that take away the pimples, take away the double chin, take away the bags under the eyes, fill in the hair where the hair is balding. Give us a complexion that we don't have. And for black people who are brainwashed, we lighten ourselves up because we don't want to be as dark as we are. That's the reality. How many black folks own bleaching cream companies? I wonder who. Let's do a research on that. I like to buy stock in it because it seems like we'll never stop using it. We'll never appreciate who we are. The curated personas presented on social media platforms can distort reality and lead to comparisons. I don't look as pretty as her. I got to do this. I need a BBL. I got to get a nose job. I got to shoot something in my lips to make it look bigger. Oh, I got to get lighter. Oh, I got to wear a wig with straight hair. I got what I would call naps. You don't have no naps? Naps? You have powerful coils that reach up to the heavens and catch the downloads better. But remember, just because somebody wears locks doesn't make them righteous. I know a lot of evil people around here that are evil that wear locks. Again, that's part of the mask for some people. Play a little reggae music, wear some locks, and wear a Bob Marley shirt. Now all of a sudden you're deeming this person to be a prophet. They don't say much. Whatever they say, that was quite profound, oh my God. You know you got them white girls that love the guys with the locks. They don't have to say much at all because they're superimposing what they saw on social media onto this individual, and all he's there is to dig their guts out. Crazy, because that works against us. Economic status. Socioeconomic factors can shape our identities, influencing our aspirations, opportunities, and sense of self-worth. Isn't that something? The more money you have, it helps to shape our identities. Wow. The status. Our esteem, I find, is tied up in our economic status. Go to the hood one day. Yeah, I said hood. You got white people in the hood too. So I'm not saying it's just black people. But go in the hood and look at the people who have held down a job, not the ones who are not working, but they get their tax returns. All of a sudden, big tippers are created. All of a sudden, you feel like that little 3, 4, 5, 6,000, or maybe 7 or 8 because you got children. You got that extra credit that you get. You get a different swag in your walk, a false confidence that will leave you when the money runs out because your esteem is tied to the money. Show me a man who doesn't have a dime for the time. Maybe he's going through some rough times, but he still knows who he is. He knows he's temporarily going through a storm, but his confidence in himself is unwavering. It's not dependent on how much he has in a bank account or even his pocket. And for those in the hood and the hood mentality, that money never even hits the bank account. I mean, it hits there if you have a direct deposit situation, but it doesn't stay there. You look for reasons to spend money, stuff you wouldn't even pay no mind. Walk around just shopping, feeling powerful. And that Korean man, that Chinese man you're buying stuff from, oh, be black people, they're so stupid. They take tax return money and instead of collecting and using and show unity, they broke soon and we rich. Ha ha ha. You got die. Duck sauce. Gender expectations. I'm saying this for a reason. I'm not saying it for the LGBTQ reasons, but societal norms regarding gender roles and expectations can constrain our expression and limit our self-discovery. Now, why did I say that? Self-discovery? I'm saying it on a positive level. As a woman, you discover yourself more as a woman. As a man, you discover yourself more as a man. Gender expectations. What are the gender expectations of today? That whatever you are, you're going against it. No, I say the righteous expectations. Yes. They say societal norms. When they say societal norms, they basically mean traditional norms, and they want to smash it down. But societal norms now, when I look at it, is something way off the chain. 5 years from now, they'll have every 26 letters of the alphabet. The rainbow means something different now. Little kid looking up at the rainbow after a bad storm. Mommy, look. God loves gays. It's the rainbow. Rainbow don't belong to them. You see how things influence us, even from young? And they'll have that same little child in school. Come here, little boy. Let me tell you why it's okay to dress like a girl. Societal norms. It's not the same societal norms I grew up when I was younger. Racial bias. Systemic racism and prejudice can distort our perceptions of ourselves and others, perpetrating harmful stereotypes. We don't have a problem with seeing the other the way they present themselves, but because of things in the media and the racial bias that controls everything on how people see us, yeah, we got a problem. Harmful stereotypes. But they make themselves look good for all the evil they do. Who is they? Well, you figure it out. If you lasted this long on this channel or this show, you already know. You figure it out. They always got to ride off into the sunset to look like the hero. We're always the thief, the pimp, a whore, the prostitute, the do-nothing, the bum, the beggar. That's how we're portrayed. Even if we're in a pristine situation in their media, they're going to show some wayward side. Oh, he's articulate, he's smart, he's well paid, but he's a thief. Had people thinking all kind of things about us. Back in the day, they thinking everybody black is breakdancing. They start doing something with their finger, like electricity hitting it. Like they're going to jumpstart you to go, oh, yeah, yes, I can break dance. Yeah, let me dance for you. I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. What is that? It's an old song from the early 80s, right? I'm full of it. I hear music in my head every day. I got so many terabytes of space in that big head. It's not just big for no reason. There's a lot of memory and a lot of experiences in my head. Romantic relationships, intimate relationships can influence our identities, sometimes leading us to compromise our values or suppress our true desire. Intimate relationships, right? Doesn't mean just sex. Could be just romantic and nothing sexual. It could be we feel as though we're kindred spirits, but we mean intimacy. Let's just say intimacy on all levels. Let's not get it twisted. You create no soul ties. You like the way they cook. I wish it was that easy, right? You like what they do after dark. And now they can coerce you into thinking different, changing. We all know the brother or the sister that got with somebody that we thought, and what does our opinion mean, right? It's their choice. We thought this person wasn't really good for them. A good person, nice person, but they're not really good for them. But guess what? After a while of digesting each other's crotch sauce, they start thinking different and coming around you different, because romantic relationships will affect you. You will average out with that person who you're with. I said it a gazillion times on the Lancescurv podcast, the Lancescurv show. If the number 100 laid up in the bed and did the do with the number 50, that number 100 will wake up at 75. It lost. That number 50 woke up at 75. It won. Tiger Woods' wife, woman, whatever. She was a housekeeper, right? Nothing wrong with being a housekeeper. Oh, but she came up. When she got that money, she gained. You have to be careful who you're with. Not just because of money, but because of also morality, spiritual clarity. People can come into your life and give you some good head, and now your mind is blown and you're off course because that thing feel good. Yes, I am a very sexual person. I express myself that way. I don't front. So if you don't like it, go away. Unsubscribe. I don't care. I'm going to be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. Let me tell you something. Also, I'm not as bad on these platforms when I'm speaking, but I'm going to be bad from this day forward on Lancescurv.com and what I write. Because see, the other platforms can't touch me on my own blog, on my own website, Lancescurv.com. Check out the written expressions. I have a bunch of them in the sidebar. And if you dig deep, I got hundreds of written articles, but it's not going to be like what I do from this point on. I'm going to say some words. I'm going to share some things that some people ain't going to like. I'm going to say it. Not hateful, truthful. Like I always say to people, I am not going to die from emotional constipation. If you want to, you want to hold stuff in, that emotional doo-doo will be running down the side of your leg sooner or later. So put it where you need to put it. Keep your toilet paper, wipe your hands, and do it the right way. I am not holding anything in. I don't like you, I'm going to tell you. Something about you I don't like, man. I'm going to give you a chance, but there's something about you rubbing me the wrong way. You might be the best of friends after a while. I don't know, but I'm not holding nothing in. That's how we get sick. That's how our internal organs start malfunctioning. Yes, there's substances we take, the air we breathe, the water we drink, that's contaminated, the bad food or whatever. But I feel that on certain levels, the things we hold in make us sick. The dysfunctional families, and you can't talk, you're not allowed to be yourself. No, it makes you sick. You have to be free on all levels. And now that I got away from America, and I'm way out here up in the mountains, you think I'm gonna sit here and bite my tongue? I can't do it. I wasn't made for that. I look at the animals out here, free, enjoying themselves, blissful. I'm gonna sit up here with somebody else's toxicities on me. I wasn't born to babysit your toxic things. I wasn't born to babysit your dysfunctions. Because you're all pent up with all kind of things and you mad at me, your belly big with constipation, not just the doo-doo inside of it, but these emotions and these conflicts and these traumas that you have from growing up. No, I learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. I'm free. I can say what I want, I can do what I want, and it vibrates fully because my filters are not clogged. Unclog your filters. Learn who you are. How many times we found something like a lamp or something of a brass vase, right? It looked dingy. Then you get that brass cleaner and wipe it on there. It comes out like gold, like wow. And it was so dingy, you got it to the garage sale. It looks so bad, they gave it to you for $10 and you realize it's worth $350. See that? We don't even know our value. We get caught up. And then when you have those romantic relationships where it's dysfunctional and you have a mate who really resents you, they will allow you to go but so far before they start to attack you and discourage you, control you. Narcissistic mates. It's not just romantic relationships. That's the doorway to get in. Seduce you. Get into your heart. Get into your mind. Get into your crotch. Well, they got you when they got your mind and your heart and they hit that crotch. It's a wrap. You walking around daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. And you got that close friend who you get mad at sometimes because they tell you the deal. You know they're using you, right? You don't know. This time it's different. They go back and tell their mate, and the mate looking at you mad because you done blown up his hustle. So he's trying to blow you up, make you look bad. Man, I've been through all kind of stuff. I can just shoot it from the hip. Shoot it from the straight hip. Spiritual ideologies. New age movements and spiritual practices may offer solace, but they can also impose dogmas that inhibit authentic self-exploration. Spiritual practices. Wear this bracelet, and it's going to do this for you. Wear this necklace, and it's going to do this for you. Yeah, the stones and the rocks and the minerals and the elements all have power. But you get this new age foolishness when you focus on certain things instead of dealing with self on the inside. You dysfunctional as hell. And you think wearing a black stone is going to protect you when you got a nasty mouth and an attitude, and sooner or later, somebody's going to slap the taste out of your mouth. How's that work? You got to learn who you are by unlearning who they taught you to be. And lots of times we trade one for the other. One residue for the other. Jehovah Witness one day, Christian the next, studying Islam. Now you're into African spirituality. What the hell does that mean? When you got different tribes and villages who do all kind of things. There is something to the very few minuscule, less than 1%. But a lot of us are straight mental, grabbing for spiritual straws. Not vibrating from within and letting it come to you, but running behind people. You know how many animal sacrifices I've had done in my name to bring me some type of resistance? You know how many spells have been casted on me? Do you know how many roots? Oh, I'm probably the most rooted man you ever want to know. Like the donkey story who fell in the ditch, who kept throwing stones at me, and the stones filled up the hole, and the hole is gone, it's filled up with stones. Got a couple bruises, but I walked on out. Now you mad. And as I watched you throw the stones, you revealed to me who you are to me. You won't throw another one. I'll throw one right back. in self-defense, and I don't miss. So be glad when you're betrayed. Be glad when people cross you, because they can never come back. Be glad when they borrow money and don't want to pay it back, because you can't ask for more. And in actuality, I gave you the money to keep you away from me. I didn't know you were a rat, but now that you don't want to pay it back, well, just keep it. And when you need money again, I can't ask him because I already owe. I walk past you counting money, knowing you need it, not because I think I'm rich, but you have the right to flex on somebody who did you wrong. Damn right. Who is the man who would risk his neck for his brother, man? SCURV, can you dig it? I hear that cat. SCURV was a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Groupthink mentality, the pressure to conform to group beliefs, can stifle independent thinking, of course, and hinder our ability to embrace our unique perspectives. I'm an artist. I don't need nobody to tell me what I see, what I feel, how I vibrate. My parents protected me to allow me to trust in that and to know in that, not to trust and believe, but to trust and know. To develop my third eye, my Holy Spirit, my gift of discernment, and not just go with what the group says. Analyze things for yourself. Think for yourself. Walk independently. If you agree with people, walk alongside with them. But the minute you don't agree with their ideology or their viewpoints, you walk your separate road of righteousness. Because the more you trust in that spirit inside of you, that guide, that download, it will never let you wrong. I've said this before. How many times have you said to yourself, if I had only followed my first mind, if I'd only follow my gut? I'm not talking about your gut with a crazy appetite because you got parasites inside of you telling you to drink up all the sugar. I'm not saying that. The gut, the heart, what's inside, that inner guide that will never lead you wrong. When you turn away from it, things never work out right. You don't have to tell people that you don't dig them. You just know what they are and you stay away from them. Keep them out of your world. Groupthink mentality. No. We're all individuals. We all have a separate path. Like I've said before, you go to any major city and you have a bus depot, a downtown, where all the buses are. 90% of those buses in the first 3 or 4 blocks around that bus depot where you catch the bus have the same route. But you stay on it long enough and they begin to split. They go their own way. But they all look the same. The first bus stop after it gets out has about daggone 5 or 6 or 10 buses that stop there. But you better know which one you're going on, because you'll find yourself way off in a whole separate part of town that you didn't intend to be in, and that's life. So you better be careful with that groupthink mentality. It'll have you somewhere where you never thought you'd be. You have a brain to think for yourself, the gift of free will, historical context, our interpretation of history and societal narratives can shape our identity, influencing how we perceive ourselves in the context of the world. Some black folks, you're going to be mad at me when I say this. You walk into a store, you're in line. There's a big gap between you and the person in front of you. Some white man jumps in front of you, looks at you mean. He's big too. Might be on the small side, and he's big. He can smack the taste out your mouth. Oh, he did that because I'm black. He might be a perpetual a-hole to everybody. Now, I'm not relieving those who are racist. I'm just saying, you see, historical context. Our interpretation of history and societal narratives can shape our identity, influencing how we perceive ourselves in the context of the world. Oh, you just picking on me because I'm black. You just fired me because I'm black. No, you did a sucky job. You show up late. You're hitting on all the ladies. You ain't focusing on your job. That's why we fired you. And some of it, oh, because I'm black. Because I'm black. Stop pulling that card. We understand that there's a lot of that going on in the world, but there's some of us who see ourselves as victims, see ourselves as just that, and don't work on ourselves to be excellent above and beyond the call of duty. I'm always working on myself. Tomorrow, I'm going to think all day on how to improve myself, how to put out quality work, how to do what it is that I do. How do they say it? Do what it do. It's just so much we have to do, and we don't realize we have so much residue on us, put on us from birth, damn near, right? It's crazy. By acknowledging and challenging these influences, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery that transcends societal expectations and unlocks our true potential. It requires courage to question ingrained beliefs and embrace the discomfort of uncertainty. Yet, in doing so, we liberate ourselves from the shackles of conformity and reclaim our autonomy. Ultimately, the path to self-discovery is a deeply personal and transformative journey. It requires introspection, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront the condition that has shaped our identities. By unlearning who they taught us to be, we pave the way for authentic self-expression, fulfillment, and guess what? True liberation. As we navigate the complexities of our existence, let us heed the call to peel back the layers of societal conditioning and embrace the truth of who we are beneath the veneer of external influences. For in reclaiming our authentic selves, we not only honor our individuality, but also contribute to the collective evolution of humanity towards a more enlightened and liberated freedom and future. Isn't that something? When we learn who we are, we are free and we have more of a future because we're burning clean. We're not clogged up in our filters mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It's a heck of a thing. I just want to thank you all for being here. I just want to thank you all for vibing with me. Make sure to go to Lancescurv.com, and when you do, sign up for the email list, the subscription list. I'm going to start shooting out a lot of these shows that you may have missed. And I'm going to continue to ascend, to create better quality, and talk about the things that most people don't even want to face. Life is a beautiful thing, but most of us will never see it because we have mud on our sunglasses. So we see the world as dirty. But if we can clean those off and clean all the dysfunctions we've came through, and we think it's us, but it was put on us. If we can dig through, and like that brass vase that you put the brass cleaner on and it shines bright, let's start doing that to ourselves. Stop looking outside and look within. You'll be impressed and you'll love yourself when you discover your true self. Lancescurv.com. Much love to you all. On to the next one. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Leave your comments on the blog. The link will be in the chat room. All right? Enjoy yourself. Get your rest. Hydrate yourself. Get some good nutrition. And spend some time alone and meditate. You'll be surprised how you feel afterward. Thank you so much. Much love. Peace.
Hello, this is Martha. Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, he's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just human, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to Lancescurv. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.
Make sure to go to Lancescurv.com, an online magazine established in 2001, containing written articles, thousands of talk shows and discussions, cutting-edge cartoons, as well as erotic expressions and tasteful adult photography. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you get a taste of the world of Lancescurv, trust me, you'll be back for more. Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.